This is going to be a 3D Resin Bloom tutorial in our 8-point flower mold. I'm going to be using Octopus fluids, alcohol inks, and Lagoon and berry juice, along with Castin Craft white pigment paste. I'm using JDiction Low Viscosity Resin, and I mixed up 2 ounces for the front section right there, and also have 0.68 ounces for my white that is going to be using 6 drops of the Castin Craft white pigment paste. So I put my 2 ounces down and just spread it into the little points there. And then I'm going to add some crushed glass and glitter to the center that's already in a little bit of resin to give it that sparkle, of course. And then doing the bloom part is pretty easy. I feel like I do blooms all the time, but I don't think I've done one for a while. So here we are again. I'm going to lay down, I didn't put any yellow in the center this time. I figured I would just stick with the pink and the blue. So this is the berry juice, and I'm just putting down a couple drops in. I had an extra one sneak in there. So I added one more just to make it even. And then I'm just taking the Lagoon, which is a beautiful blue color, and just putting it out towards the points. I think I end up doing 2 drops of this as well. And Octopus Fluids inks are very concentrated. Their resin inks are 5 times more concentrated, but this is their regular alcohol inks. But still, as you can tell from watching bloom videos, these colors are a lot deeper than normal alcohol inks are. So once you've put the drops down for the colors, you don't have to swirl, but I'm just swirling a little bit to blend the colors into each other. I found that when I use yellow in the center, it tends to blend with the pink or the purple to make a totally other color. That's why I left it out this time. And there I'm just swirling a little bit for the blue. You don't have to do the swirls, it's just an option. Then I have my white in the piping bag, and I did wait until about 37-38 degrees Celsius. By the time I got ready to pour the white, it was probably closer to 39 or 40. And there I'm just trying a different kind of spiral effect instead of just drawing in the concentric circles. I'm drawing it around and just kind of finishing the point on top of where I began it. This one I think I started a little too close to the center. I should have gone out a little bit more into the point. But the longer you wait for the resin to heat up, the thicker it is, and it's not so watery and drippy, and it will stay where you're kind of putting it. I've had whites just sink to the bottom before if they weren't warmed up enough. And then I didn't know what to do in the center, so I just sort of squiggled lines around. I have done dots before, but they tend to sink down. So I just did this. I don't know that this made that much of a difference either, but it's just something to fill up the colored area. And that's about it for doing the bloom. You just have to wait for it to cure before you do the back. And for the back, I have this beautiful blackish, silverish mica powder that I ended up using 7 scoops of in another 2 ounces of resin. It's not a solid black. I wanted it to have kind of a sheen to it, and I end up adding a 1/2 scoop of Twinkling Silver Star Mica by Funshine Color Shop. It's one of my new favorite silvers to use, and I only used a 1/2 scoop just to give it a little bit more shimmer. And then you just mix that around and pour it onto the back. So it's basically just a 2-step process: laying down your colors, waiting for that to cure, and then putting on your back. And there I'm just letting the resin spread out into the corners. Don't want it to overflow on the mold. And then you just wait for that to cure. You can already see the sparkle from the mica back there. And it does show through to the front, so it isn't just a solid inky black. It does give it some sparkle behind the colors. And the black always sets off the white. And the next day, it's time to demold. That turned out really pretty. The pinks and the blues stayed separate, but you can also use resin inks to give them a little bit deeper color.